Hollywood has never been shy about revisiting the grammar of the heist film. But Crime 101, the new feature from director Bart Layton, announces its ambitions loudly and then quietly fails to back them up. Set almost entirely along and around the 101 freeway, the interstate artery that threads through the spine of Los Angeles and lends the film its title, this 140-minute crime sprawl arrives carrying the DNA of a dozen better films while generating precious little of its own. Chris Hemsworth plays Mike Davis, an Angelino thief of almost surgical precision who has built a lucrative career robbing jewelry couriers, transporting high-end merchandise up and down the 101. Hemsworth, an Australian, deploys the same flat, unplaceable American accent he reaches for whenever the role demands it, though the character's eerie blankness is less a performance choice and more the total absence of one. Mike is introduced scrubbing errant hairs from his body with an emery board before a job, a fastidious ritual designed to prevent him leaving physical trace evidence at a crime scene. The image is arresting. The promise it makes, however, goes largely unfulfilled. The architecture of the story is familiar. Mike runs his operation through a network of informants and carefully gathered intelligence, priding himself on never having resorted to violence, a distinction that becomes increasingly difficult to maintain when his fence, Money, played by a gravelly Nick Nolte, brings in an unpredictable wildcard to guarantee a job gets done. That wildcard is Barry Keoghan's Ormond, a peroxide street punk with zero professional discipline and every appetite for chaos, arriving on a motorcycle and representing precisely the kind of variable Mike has spent his career eliminating from the equation. The central job Mike has quietly set his sights on is the robbery of a diamond courier arriving from Antwerp, carrying stones worth millions destined for an all-cash purchase by a slimy billionaire played by Tate Donovan. To get there, Mike must first turn Sharon, the billionaire's insurance broker, played by Halle Berry. Sharon's firm is underwriting both the diamonds and their transport, which makes her an essential piece of the puzzle. Mike identifies her as a target, not primarily because of her access, but because of her grievances. She has been passed over for partner, belittled about her age by a condescending boss, and made to feel that her professional window is closing. Mike offers her a cut of a multi-million-dollar payout. The question of whether she will bite gives the film its most genuinely compelling thread. Mark Ruffalo plays Detective Lubznik, the LAPD investigator, following Mike's trail with the rumpled, post-divorce persistence of a man who has nothing left to lose and everything to prove. Ruffalo, who appears to have arrived on set from a different and considerably better film, is quietly magnetic, the character navigating a midlife unraveling that includes a new beachfront apartment, a cat, and an unexpectedly earnest commitment to yoga classes. When Lubznik shaves off his handlebar mustache, the film treats it as a quiet act of renewal, and for a moment the movie earns the emotional register it has been reaching for. Those moments come too infrequently. Monica Barbaro, Oscar-nominated last year for A Complete Unknown, plays Maya, Mike's new girlfriend, and she throws herself at the task of humanizing a co-star who resists every attempt. She dances with Hemsworth to a Bruce Springsteen song, delivers a pointed monologue about the particular alienations of living in Los Angeles, and consistently acts as though she is sharing the screen with someone who is actually there. The film is honest enough to admit what motivates its protagonist asked directly. Mike answers with a single word, money, but that confession of shallowness does not redeem it. Layton, whose 2018 documentary drama Hybrid American Animals demonstrated a genuine gift for destabilizing genre conventions, is working here as a capable but uncritical imitator. Crime 101 draws visibly from Michael Mann's Heat, Thief, and Collateral, from Walter Hill's The Driver, and from Peter Yates' Bullet, the latter even name-dropped in dialogue, as though the film is offering its own confession. Hemsworth's character inhabits antiseptic modernist apartments overlooking the Pacific. Cinematographer Eric Wilson shoots the Los Angeles skyline in low-light digital that makes the city feel as though it stretches outward into some uncanny infinity. The images are frequently beautiful. They mean nothing. At 140 minutes, the film collapses under the weight of its own sprawl. Subplots proliferate and vanish. A diamond merchant, played by Payman Mahdi, is investigated for enabling his own robbery and then abandoned without resolution. A storyline, involving a compromised officer-involved shooting, is dropped mid-thread. The film behaves at times as though it is a prestige television series that has been ruthlessly compressed into a feature, with entire narrative seasons amputated and the wounds left open. Meanwhile, the actual mechanics of the heists, the intelligence gathering, the contingency planning, the professional discipline that is supposed to make Mike extraordinary, are largely waved off or outsourced to a 20-something hacker scrolling through email accounts. For all the ceremony around Mike's competence, his master plan for recruiting Sharon involves approaching her in a public space and hoping she does not immediately call the police. His confrontation with Orman takes place next to a beer cooler in a convenience store, in plain view of other customers. The film tells us repeatedly that these are exceptional people. It shows us almost nothing to support the claim. The most generous reading of Crime 101 is that it is, at its heart, a character ensemble that got trapped inside a genre film, that Layton's genuine interest lies not in the robbery, but in the people orbiting it, each of them caught at a moment of reckoning. Barry's Sharon delivers the film's most charged scene not during any heist sequence, but in a boardroom confrontation where she finally refuses to absorb one more casual humiliation from her employer. Ruffalo's Lubesnik earns the film's most tender passage simply by showing up to a yoga class. These are real moments. They are not enough to save a film that has no center to anchor them to. Do you think star-studded crime thrillers have become too reliant on nostalgia for the Michael Mann era, or is there still a genuinely fresh story waiting to be told in this genre? Drop your take in the comments below, and if you want more in-depth film coverage like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a release.